Try not look too toothless in the meantime there. I got all my teeth, just that one short, but every time I look, I smile. It looks like I'm missing all my teeth. So, okay, in private chat, I got to check that here. So I'm going to bounce back and forth. We are live. Hey. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Echo Means Business. They call this a pro networking live event, and we've got a couple great guests here on today. We're going to talk about creating content geared towards your target demographic, and not about becoming big rock stars or anything like that in the social media community. It's about becoming a rock star in your service community, right? And so who you take care of, who you service, who you target as your demographic for clientele. Tonight they give me a list of notes here, so I'm going to check some things here and go through my protocol that they want me to go through here. But we're going to, again, focus on that content, how we reach our target clients, our target demographics. We're going to, talk also here. The Echo Means Business. This is crazy. It's been going on for 6 years now, so it's really cool. EMB has been going on this long. It is the premier online community and mobile app, by the way. And the mobile app's really cool. That is the one place I use it, is through the mobile on my phone here. So check out and download the EMB mobile app. And join. They've got forums on there, contests, all sorts of stuff. Check that stuff out. And there's a podcast also, by the way, so that's worth checking out. Tonight's guest that we're going to talk about this kind of stuff, and Mr. Bedell there. We'll talk. We'll talk to our comment section here a little bit. Bedell, Mike Bedell in the room, very cool. Clean Cut, how you doing, Clean Cut? And Bedell saying hi twice. All right, we get it, Mike. You're here. All right. And Josh Curry, hola, yes. So we've got Jacob Moreno of Moreno Landscaping, and we've got Abbigail and Jacqueline. I'm going to say Stuebs, but I don't know, so you'll have to correct me on that if I'm wrong on the pronunciation of JAR, and maybe say Jar Landscaping. Again, forgive me. You'll have to educate me there. So we'll start off with the JAR group here. Why don't you ladies tell me what's up with your firm and what you do, and a little bit of background and bio with you folks.
Yeah, hey everyone, I am Jacqueline, and I am Abbigail. We own Jar Landscaping LLC. We've been in business since 2017. We went to college for landscape horticulture. Now we're just kind of going full-time, doing all kinds of landscape and lawn maintenance.
I think your mic is off, Caleb.
So this is my first time moderating, and thank you, Jacob. You're a hero tonight, man. Yeah, I'm a total noob here at the moderating thing. That's hilarious. And JR, you're in Central Illinois. You're in Central Illinois, correct?
Yep.
Fancy. They're quick on the mute button. Not so much myself. Jacob, the hero, man. Tell me, am I pronouncing Moreno right? First off,
It's Moreno. Yes, I say Moreno. It's Moreno, but yes, Moreno is good.
I love it. That's beautiful. Moreno Landscaping, and dude, tell us about your firm and what you do, and a little bio there on you.
All right, I've been in business since 2005, so that makes it what, 16, 17 years or so. We do more of high maintenance, landscaping and maintenance. So basically, I don't try to grow my business, but I try to keep a low amount of clients that we're able to provide full service to them, from maintaining their properties to installing their landscaping. So and it's here in Florida, it's year round, so there's no vacations. I can't hear nothing.
All right, I'm going to stop muting myself because I'm just an idiot with it here. So, okay. Well, first time getting asked to do this, last time getting asked to do this. We're going to check, and Echo, the EMB tab says we're going to teach Caleb how to use the mute button. Well, good luck. We'll see. Mr. Hairston's in the room. We'll say hi to a few folks that are in here. Topside, hello. And again, probably Sam giving me a hard time there. Pretty much giving me a hard time about my mute button there. But folks, we'll start off, and Jacqueline and Abigail, we'll start with you and talk like do you have a game plan, or like is it intentional, your content creation geared at your clientele more so than like the social media community? And what's kind of your drive, if so, and how and why, and when did you figure out that was working for you?
Yeah, so whenever we started our YouTube channel, we didn't really do it for any purpose, really, just to see our journey and see how we were progressing. But then once we started making the videos and stuff, we realized our clients were finding it whenever they were searching our name up on Google. So it was really being put out there that way. So then we just do it for basically everyone. We don't really have a specific intention to like grow fame from it or anything like that. But yeah, it has really helped with our clients.
How about you, Jacob?
My first video was actually by accident. It was I didn't really know about YouTube. So I did a little thing with Little Giant, and I did like I was playing with an app, and I was like, you can make your head big, change your voice, and all that. So I thought that I did it, and I thought it was fun. So I was trying to share it with family, and I kind of like did an account with YouTube, thinking it was just only going to my family, but it ends up it was to everything. It kind of became a hobby, and then out of that hobby, it just I it just you know I get a lot. I was getting a lot because if y'all know my business, if y'all follow me, I don't advertise at all. I don't have a website. My trucks on my trailer and everything. I don't have logos. Nothing. My hats on my shirt is the only thing. I don't even have phone numbers on my shirt. So I don't do none of that. The social media. I mean the the Facebook. None of that. I don't do none of that. So YouTube was actually just it started as a hobby, and then next thing you know, people were emailing me, wanting, like, hey, we like what you do on there. Where are you located? Can you help us out with our property? And then from there, I was like, sure, why not?
Yeah, did you find a way to get the YouTube content in front of your target market? And Jacob, by the way, admitted he's nervous tonight. So folks, in the comments there, tell Jacob to chill. It's all good, man. We're here for fun and we're here for learning. So there's no pressure, man. No pressure. Just chill. You're gonna be a pro at this. Ain't no sweat. But did you find a way to gear it towards, targeting your local market more so, or is it still just out there to everybody?
So the way my YouTube is basically for everybody, but but I've been noticing that I was getting more emails of local people wanting to know if I'm in their area, and they've been looking, so this year I started a whole vlog of kind of the Florida lawn care vlog. So hoping that would more kind of like a pinpoint just the Florida area. So that's something that's something different I did this year for that.
Yeah, that's cool. And there's a lot of people that make that work. And I was actually just talking to the Miami landscaper, and he was talking about how just his Instagram account targeted with to certain demographics and hashtags and all that stuff is like really, really beneficial for them. So there's a difference, I think, a lot of times of targeting your content towards your clientele versus like the social media community. And then they're just throwing it out there, like, throwing spaghetti against the wall, see what sticks. And I think the combination of the two things, if you can figure out a way to tailor it, is coming across as an authority, right? Of knowing, you demonstrate, what you're talking about. Your clients like seeing that. I know when I hire out services, if they have any social media at all that helps prove and verify that they're, somewhat of an authority, at least in what they're doing, it really, I really like hiring, be it a subcontractor for something, concrete work, you name it. If they've got anything out there that shows and proves they know what they're talking about, like, I'm all about it. So, and that's what we're here to talk about tonight. And if anybody's got any comments too, that they could leave, any tips or anything they want to leave in the comments over here, that'd be awesome too. We'll try to go through this and see what's going on. We got Mark Thomas Builder in there. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Caleb,
what do you think about the concept of, like, with your existing clientele, do you target anything towards the clients you have already, as far as like potential upsells? Like, hey, we're going into the season, we're going into fall, we're targeting leaf cleanup season and just end of year deadheading and stuff like that, JAR. you target anything towards like the season per se, and even your existing clients?
We haven't done anything towards our existing clients right now, but it is something that we are considering. We found out that you can put your YouTube videos, like embed it up onto your website, and we kind of considered that, and then also sending email videos to our clients. We think that could really benefit and keep the communication going with our clients.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. And even, have any of you guys ever done anything with even embedding those in emails and sending out email blasts that are promoting like your content anywhere? JR and Jacob, I'll go back to you on that. Have you done anything like an email campaign promoting, with a YouTube tag in or YouTube link in it, sending people to your content or anything like that?
So we haven't yet. We've tried to, but we haven't really figured that out. But it's definitely something that we do want to do.
Yeah. How about you, Jacob? Have you done anything of that stuff geared towards your existing clientele for upsells or anything like that?
I don't. I'm usually the one on the job sites every week. So for me, it's just more telling them straight up when, hey, is that time of year, or, just setting it up that way. And I don't have a big clientele. I maintain maybe about 24, 25 accounts, and that keeps us busy all week.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I would say, on the counter to that, even if, and I get the owner operator thing being swamped busy, I totally get that. One of the things, at least in our company, we keep in mind, while we're usually pretty booked up with a lot of repeat work and repeat clientele and things like that, we still want that funnel to be really wide, bringing in leads at least, so we can really cherry pick stuff. And if we have, and even Jacob, for you, like if you have clientele now, but that funnel is still wide, well, you can always cut the bottom 10% off in theory, right? And with that wide funnel now, like, hey, here's a client I like a little more, that's a little closer. We're going to bring them in and push someone out that's number 25 that is not our favorite client, let's say. And you could always be, potentially, doing that. But yeah, I get the in the field game, just cranking work like crazy, man. I get it. I've been there, done that, did it for a long, long time. And in our company, I guess a quick intro of me for those of you who don't know me, I'm Caleb with Auman Landscape. I probably introduced myself, I reckon. My wife and I own, and my wife technically owns a landscape design build company here in Southeast Ohio, just southeast of Columbus, Ohio, in beautiful Fairfield County. We focus on landscape design build work, so that pertains to traditional landscaping, tree shrub installations, horticultural stuff, but primarily we do a lot of hardscape construction now, paver patios, retaining walls, and then we do a lot of drainage and stormwater management work, so fixing the drains and parking lots and things like that. And then we do a lot of stuff on social media now too. So that's my background here, and I've been in the industry for now. I've been in contracting for 21 years, I think, or 22 maybe. So I started my company in 1999 as soon as I got my driver's license. So that's kind of my quick intro there, folks. Do you folks, and I guess JR, what is your primary social media platform that you are best known on, I guess?
The most that we use is basically just Instagram. We don't really have a set schedule or anything like that for YouTube. We just basically do it as we go.
Yeah. Now, JR, do you folks see, and Jacqueline and Abigail, do you utilize hashtags at all? Or it seems like hashtags aren't what they used to be, but do you still utilize any hashtags on any of your content?
Yeah, we use hashtags on Instagram for mainly just in the lawn care community. We don't really target it towards clients that way because we haven't really had any luck with finding clients through Instagram.
Interesting. I think a lot of that depends on like what market you're in. Like I have a friend who has a company in a more urban center and it's hip and young and modern in part of Columbus. And so you use the hashtag up there like German Village or Short North, Brewery District, all the cool places to be where people are constantly checking, just see what's going on in the cool places in Columbus. And he's got his landscaping ads and landscape photos and nice stuff that he tags to that, and it slips into those little places. And even like hashtag Columbus, Ohio, hashtag 614, and he's using those kind of hashtags to target a market that he's more interested in a region he's more into. So That's a unique way I've seen hashtags used. The favorite restaurant, by the way, a popular restaurant, slip that in there. Now, sometimes I've heard you can be punished for that, by the way, if you're posting content unrelated to hashtags. So beware, be advised. Jacob, do you do any tag on the YouTube stuff, on your YouTube content? Do you tag anything in particular?
On the YouTube, I don't. YouTube, I just put it out there. Like I said, it's basically for everybody. But on my Instagram, I do a lot of tagging on that one. I do like all the cities that I work in. Like the Longwood, Florida, Orlando, Florida, La Papca, my surroundings. And then with those, I noticed that I do get more hits with the surrounding people with those tags. And then
Yeah, cool.
on my Instagram, it has the YouTube on there, so it gives them a chance to check out the YouTube.
Nice, cool. Yeah, I always thought that was really neat, and so we would utilize that in our own company for a while. But my Instagram grew to a point where I didn't want my local clientele following my Instagram because I was posting more intimate job details of things that were going wrong, things that were going right. And so I really didn't want local folks following me on there because I was being very honest and very open. Well, I'm always honest, but I was being very open with like, hey, we messed up on this thing and we've got to dig some base up now because we didn't get it compacted properly, but we're going to do that. And inadvertently, that actually clients like to see that too, because they're like, oh, well, he admitted they made a mistake and they're going to correct it. Like that's always good optics too, right? As far as let's see here. Now here's an interesting question on here that they're posing. Do any of you get permission from your clients or anything before you post? Jacob, I'll start with you. Do you just throw it out there and go under like kind of the public use clause maybe, or do you ever interview your clients and it's like, hey, we do this stuff? Are you cool with your property being on social media or anything like that?
When I started with the YouTube, I tried to keep minimum. So basically, it wasn't like trying to show the house, trying to show the cars, or trying to show the people. It was basically just showing my work. So I wasn't trying to like walking around. But later, everybody started seeing like because everybody's looking at their windows, So then I found out that some are watching me film. So I figured to me that seems okay. I never really like stepped out and say, hey, do I have permission? Not unless they come out and they catch me or whatever, or not catch me, but they see what I'm doing. But I have had that. Actually, I have had that happen where when I'm filming and they'll come out like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not trying to mess up your video. It's like, no, it's all good. But that just, but no, I don't ask nobody. I just film.
How about you, Jacqueline and Abbigail?
Yeah, so we have a photo and video release form that we do for every single client. If they choose not to do it, obviously we respect that. And then, yeah, we basically just send those out with our yearly contracts, and if they sign it, then we can do the videos or pictures. If not, then we just avoid videoing there.
Nice. I like that. You send it out in your annual contracts. That's really sharp. That's cool. We do, because our company is more project based, right? So we're not on a whatever. We do have verbiage like that into our project contracts. So if they don't read all the fine print, like it's in there. Now, if they have an objection, I'm not going to say, well, no, you signed it. We're going to be very respectful of that, of course. And I have had some clients be like, we don't want any videoing or anything. And it's like, that's cool. A little tidbit I might throw out there is make sure if you have a company handbook, which you ought to have a company handbook, I don't care what size your company is, a blind item in there needs to be a release form for your employees as well, like that they approve or that they accept, acknowledge, and allow them to be in promotional material as well, or promotional content and stuff like that. I would highly recommend that, because the last thing you want is a video that's doing awesome to be taken down because one of your guys didn't agree with it, or a disgruntled. Worse, and where it usually comes to is a disgruntled employee will be like, I know how to put it to them, I know how to get them, and they're going to take that video down. So keep that in mind. Try to make all your but offer to all your employees, hey, would you sign this because it's part of our promotional use and stuff like that. So I love Tenno with AJ's Lawncare. I agree. I love that idea of putting in the annual contracts. That's sharp. That's great. That right there is probably tip of the night, right? Like that's value. That's why we're here, right? That's fantastic. what you know, let's a fun question maybe, but and Jacob, have you had any of your social media stuff backfire on you of unintended consequences or anything, or or has so far everything's been on the up and everything's been positive?
Nah, what mean, like getting a lot of like a negative reaction to my post or something?
Yeah, right. Like by a client or whatever, right? Or a competitor even or whatever.
No, but I know like on the comments, I know I got a couple of videos out there. Man, I got some really bad. It, I this was the first time I had to start. I say where they couldn't use some words on my comments because it got real bad. But yeah, but a lot of times, no, I haven't had that problem where people are talking real negative about the videos or anything. But besides
And
mistakes, I think.
yeah. Well, and that's one thing. It's like, you put yourself out there, right? Which is the hardest thing about social media. You put yourself out there, and man, if you let one little thing slip, like you've got to be ready to field that, right? And you've got to handle that scenario. And if it's something that just needs blocked and deleted, that's one thing, right? But if it's like they made a point of like, hey, you pruned that wrong or whatever, you've got to be able to counter that, right? So you've got to know. So that's one thing when you're putting yourself out there. I don't want this to discourage anyone at all, because put it out there and figure it out later, kind of thing. But you definitely got to be ready to field, especially if your clients are watching this and they say, so and so. It's one thing if it's just a troll, but if somebody makes a comment of like, hey, it'd be better if you did it this way, you need to be ready to back that up or be like, you know what, you're right, I'm going to go take care of that, or do it this way or whatever. So that's the worst thing about public record like that, right? Go ahead,
Yeah,
Jacob. You got
but
something to throw
you
in there?
know, yeah, but the difference is that a lot of times our zones are different. The way we do
Oh yeah,
things, and like what, because the way I do things here is different than what y'all do. Like somebody, in Michigan does it. The soil's different. The way, and a lot of times that's kind of like, I had to learn how to understand that part where people would try to give me I say lessons or whatever. But it might work for them, but I know what works here because we've been doing this for a very long time, and I worked with other companies. So when I do something, it's not like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like this is how we do it here.
absolutely. And that's a great point, because yeah, you'll get some knothead come on there that thinks he knows something, but they're in a totally different region, and they make a comment. It's like, well, actually we don't do that this way here because of, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're able to come back and say, no, we don't do it this way because it's a southern region, it's a different plant zone, whatever. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So that's a great point. So thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that extra point there, because I don't get everything all the time. I need help. So thank you, dude. How about Jacqueline and Abigail? Any weird stuff or things you've had to kind of back up from some knot-headed comment or something?
We haven't really had anything go
Cool.
with it. Just
Well, that's fortunate, right? Like that's great. Like I know there's some folks that really, you gotta be careful putting stuff out there because you got a target on your back, right? And so you just got to be ready for that. And that's the thing. Like I really would promote that anybody that is wanting to put the content out there, like it's a battlefield. Be ready, like, but it's good for you and it's good for your business. And I really feel like, again, that public perception of having your company out there is better than not. And again, it allows you, the wider that funnel is, the more clientele that comes through, and you can cherry pick then more so, and you're not stuck with your, so that way you don't feel stuck. And you can always call out the bottom 10% or even 80-20 that thing, and knock out the bottom 20 or the bottom 80 even if things are getting crazy. So in the comment section here, Tino, my apologies. I sure don't want any trouble. He said he's going to let that last one slide. So I don't want any trouble, Tino. No trouble, man. Let's see here. Let's go through her. Tyler Lewis, Von Quinnis, San Antonio. Hello. Thanks for joining in here. A few other people here. I can't get to it. I apologize. And this will be on the podcast, the Echo Means Business podcast, by the way. So the audio version of this will be chopped up, and hopefully a lot of my screw ups here will be edited a little cleaner, so I'll sound like a professional that knows what he's doing, possibly. Do you ever put anything in your content? And Jacob, I'll go to you as far as like calls to action and things like that. Of like, hey, call. Do you leave it open ended, or you're like, hey, you can reach me at whatever the phone number is, or hey, check out our website. or hey, the time to schedule is now, give us a call now. Jacob, do you do anything like that in your content, or do you leave it real open ended?
No, I don't do none of that. I just like I said, when I started off the videos, I usually just say I'm who I am and where I'm located at, and that's it. I don't promote.
Cool.
Like I
Okay.
said, I don't even have an email. So I mean, not email,
Man.
a website. I don't have a website.
Right. Okay. Cool. That's interesting. Do you ever get pushback from anybody about that not having a website? Anybody's like, "Wait, you don't have a website?" Or is nobody websites are kind of like not even still like they even used to be 10 years ago. Like that was the thing to have. So do you ever get pushback on that of like, why don't you have a website? Or are you sure? Like
I get a lot of people saying I need one, but what I'm doing now is working for me. Where because the way it is like I do, you know how it is when you're on the job site, you when you're personally on the job site, you're the one doing all the work. So when you're doing your YouTube, Instagram, that's a little more time there, and so then you have a website, that's an additional more time to try and keep that up. So to me, it's like what I'm doing now is working for me. So the website, I don't, and it's not if I was trying to grow, if then I wouldn't how you say invest in something like that in
yeah,
the emails and in other advertisement forms and stuff like that. But for me, we're very like a boutique kind of business. In other words, we only serve a certain kind, do certain
yeah,
kind of work.
I love that. Yeah, I love the boutique concept. Like we're not Walmart, and that's what I refer our company as. Like we're not the Walmart or like the big box store. We're the old local craftsman's, or the little hardware store that we find all the neat little stuff and the old quality tools. Like that's us. We're boutique like that. We're the little old hardware store. We're not Home Depot, right? Like that's our deal, right? And Jr., how about you folks on that question there?
So we haven't really put out any calls of action like our phone number or anything. We've actually had a few viewers try to call us, and we don't really like putting our phone number out there to the public. But we will include it if we try to do those emails and send out the videos that way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Interesting. And it's funny that I think a lot of folks that a lot of that so much is like Jacob had a great point of like how growth minded are you, and so like it's one thing to put it out and it just keeps you viable, I think, and like out there, right? It just keeps you in the ethos, if you will, or in the you just putting content out there is better than not, I believe, ultimately. And then how hard you crank on that from there with calls to action and always posting your website. I like that Jacob Moreno is always mentioning where he's at in his name. Like that's a big deal. Matt LaMarche of Sandy Springs, Georgia. He had a lawn care business down there years ago, and so he sold that and went into some other into real estate and stuff. But I know Matt LaMarche in Sandy Springs, Georgia. Like he always opened everything he said with that, and so I knew immediately. And that's the same thing, Jacob's doing. Like I hear that enough, I'll know exactly where he's at, and it always sticks in my head. That verbal or that audio brand, right? That is seared into my head of his demographic or of his market, right? I think that's cool. I really like that actually. Let's see here. Blacktop Tech Talk. They had a comment in here I thought was real good. I'm gonna try to scroll back. The media release is an excellent idea. That's one thing I like. I love that idea. If any kind of newsletter, output or anything like that is always cool. An email blast, anything like that. The mention they had was hashtags definitely don't have the impact they used to. I would agree with that. It seems like they don't, but maybe I'm getting old school now and getting getting behind in things. I don't know. What do I know? Let's see here. So another question here is what SEO or other tagging strategies JR, are you doing, is there anything actually, anything specific you're doing with videos or any content you're putting out to aim at all of the audience, or is it just, again, throwing it out there to see what sticks kind of thing?
So usually on all of our YouTube videos, we will link, like I think there's a location part on it, so we always stick our location onto it.
What words of encouragement would you have for anybody that's nervous about creating content and putting themselves out there to promote their business and to begin to build this online world of their company, promote their company. Jacob, I'll go to you on this to start. What words of encouragement would you have for somebody that's maybe a little camera shy or not sure like what to exactly put out there and how to find the platform that they like to use? What words of advice or encouragement would you have?
You know, if you watch my videos, one thing you're going to learn is that I can't speak right. I can't speak Spanish or English right, so it doesn't matter. The video was pretty. It was a pretty interesting thing because it was getting me out of my comfort zone. In other words, so I'm a very private. Even when I started with the YouTube, I was very private. I didn't want to show this much. I didn't want to. I was always trying to change things up, but I man, I could tell you why wait, did I tell you why I started? Wait,
tell me what. Well, tell us again. Refresh my memory.
I'm just nervous. Well, I got tired of everybody thinking all I did was cut grass, do a push mower, because I work in these private neighborhoods, and when everybody started to say Jacob, he'll call him, he got that push mower, he'll come over here, but like I don't even use a push mower, but and I kind of wanted to show him because what I do was I was more of the local people around here, the other company, they call me like a trim master. I do a lot of hedge trimming, a lot of trees, we do a lot of hedges, shape things up. And so for me, it was a little awkward where people were thinking that all I did was push mow and I do I do more trimming than anything. 80% of my business is just trimming. And so I want to show that part of me, I want to show that of what I was capable of doing. And so, because that's what I was kind of known of in my little private world. So when I was able to show people, especially like family members in Texas or in Nebraska, whatever, they get to see what I'm doing. So it first kind of started like as an accident, and then it became like showing my family what I was doing. But then it became when it started coming for the business was when I was getting emails from people like, hey, we've been watching your work. And you're the kind of person we need here to help with our property. So I remember my first one I got. You go up to their house, and they already know you. They already know what to expect from you. So you don't have to sell yourself because you're basically selling yourself on your videos. So that's why when I do my videos, I'll go around and I'll start naming plants. So like this is what this plant is. This is what this plant is because that's the Florida plant. And so it gives people an idea. And then I talk about the diseases, insects, and stuff like that attack those plants. So when someone hires me, they already know that, hey, this guy's not just here to cut and trim. He knows what he's doing. So it breaks all the barrier trying to sell yourself, because basically YouTube ended up becoming became my seller for me. And what was your question again?
I thought that was my wife trying to get in the audience or in the room, and it was my 3-year-old. He's supposed to be on lockdown here. So I am so sorry, Jacob.
Look,
my wife knows, Brittany knows we're doing this. What is so important she needs in here for? Thanks, Brent. Jacob, my sincere apologies.
No problem. I just forgot what the question was about.
well, so
what was the question?
It's funny you mentioned it was the main thing was, and you nailed a great point that I thought was awesome, is you started doing social media and putting content out there to show that you weren't just a guy push mowing yards or whatever. And that is such a great point of the whole purpose of this conversation and what we're doing tonight and why we would put ourselves out there as social media so that people know what we do, right? And so we promote. A thing I've been saying a lot lately is you get known more. You do more of what you get known for doing, right? And so like once people realize, because I looked at your Instagram, by the way, and I saw like the immaculate trimming and shearing you do on those hedge lines and stuff, and immediately I was like, man, if I need shearing done, I'm calling this dude, because it's like it's like laser. It's like awesome. So that right there sells the point of like, okay, well, apparently I don't call this guy to push mow my yard. I need precision shearing done. This is my guy, right? And JR, with your page and stuff like that, I can tell that you're going to be a full service property management, kind of setup, and like that's cool. So I know immediately by looking at that, and of course that can be achieved with a the website or anything like that, but the social media, like you said, people do business with, people they know, like, and trust, right? So if they already get a feel for you, through your social media content, that, like, this guy's personable, he's likable, and, like, I just feel like I know him a little bit more, right? And it's like anytime you meet any of the big social media guys, right, like Brian's Lawn Maintenance or Blake Albertson or any other big YouTube, Sean Spencer, any of those dudes, like, and you've never talked to them before, but you've watched all their stuff and you feel like you know them and they don't know who you are, right? But, like, you feel comfortable with them, right? And your clients are going to look at that the same, for you are their star, right? And so I think that's an awesome point that you bring to the table there. And Jacqueline and Abigail, do you have anything to add to that, or to piggyback on that, maybe?
So going along with, like, making people feel more comfortable, one thing we like to say is a picture speaks 1,000 words, but a video speaks 1,000 more. So just from Instagram, all you see is, like, mainly pictures and stuff like that. But on YouTube or any other video platform, you see what's actually going on, but, like, behind that picture. So, like, that's a really cool advantage to it.
Yeah, that's a great point. And then also you get a feel for the personality of the person too. Like, if they're dry and, but maybe witty, or like a goofball like me, like whatever, like, you get a feel for the person. And I went on a consult today for a design project, and the guy came out. It was a referral from another builder buddy of mine, and he gives me a hard time about all the social media stuff anyways. He's like, he's like, oh, he's a superstar, you need to call him. He does stupid crap like that. But those folks found our social stuff, and I was talking to the husband. He's like, man, I feel like I know you. And it's crazy, because it's like, it's that realization is weird. People are watching what you're doing, but it feeds the machine. That's the point. Like, we've already sold ourselves to that client before even, that handshake on site, and Jacob and Jacqueline and Abbigail, that's, like, exactly the point of all of this, right? Let's scroll through the comments here, see what's going on in the comments here, see who's all making fun of me on here. I think I got a couple people giving me a hard time here. All these haters around here, I swear. And again, Echo quoted you there. A picture speaks 1,000 words, but a video speaks 1,000 more. I really like that. I can't wait to use that and not give you credit for it, JR. That's going to be great. They say, Picasso says a good artist copies, a great artist steals, right? So, Echo means business. I'll stop it now. Facebook specifically, like, and Jacqueline and Abigail, Facebook has been good for our company. And that's where, for my company, I didn't want to push my clientele to our Instagram or YouTube. I wanted them to go to our Facebook account. That's and LinkedIn. That's kind of our professional front, if you will. And I tell you, Facebook has been really good for us with running targeted ads and always building this local zip code domination thing that we have going, of, like, just trying to always be running ads in just our zip code right here. Like, just trying to always saturate everything with, with the Auman logo here, and just trying to always be running that brand hard. Have you folks done any face? And Jacob, you said you don't have Facebook, so I won't come to you on this, but Jacqueline and Abigail, and only because I can't tell you two apart, I would ask one of you specifically, but I don't know which one is who. So, what would you say, or have you run any targeted Facebook ads or paid ads on Facebook?
We haven't done any paid ads on Facebook. We've just posted in local groups. We haven't posted lately just because we were getting too many calls that we couldn't keep up with the work. But yeah, I think posting in the groups and stuff locally will, like, really helps.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I would agree with that, absolutely. Here's a great question from Clean Cut Yard Services. Can everyone talk about their most popular video and why they believe it became their most popular video? What about it specifically? Keywords, content, something was unique about it. Jacob, you got any? Can you have any explanation on what your most popular content is and why?
I have one video that is out doing everything else, but it's like that one's like a good and a bad, because that's the one that gets so much bad reports, but yet it's the most viewed, and it's running a pipe underneath the driveway. Those how-tos are what are really the ones that get a lot more views. Like the ones I do about the Robolini palms, how to clean those out. That's another one. So basically, the how to, and I guess it comes down to what YouTube is really meant to. The way I seen it is how to. And for me, when I do my vlogs, the vlogs that have you actually got to watch the whole video to get tips, nips, and tips about stuff like that. Because for me, a lot of my calls are like from homeowners. When I get people emailing me and stuff, there are a lot of homeowners, and they like to maintain their properties, but they don't know how. They don't want to spend a lot of money, but so I become like a I say those consultant. So I go and I meet them and I show them because they watch the video, but sometimes it's just like training an employee. You got to show them by hand, like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we hold this bag. This is how we cut. So I get that has helped me to be more like a consultant more, and then with the plans. But the how tos are the ones that really take off.
I could definitely see that and agree with that. As far as popularity goes, and then again, it's just putting yourself out there as a professional, right? And a known professional, right? So that's always I couldn't agree with that more. I'm all about that stuff. Jacqueline or Abigail?
Yeah, definitely agree with the how-tos. So I think one of our most viewed video is us fixing a purge valve in our truck. And then also an OBD reader. It's mainly those videos that people go to when they have a problem and they need something to figure it out. So a lot of our videos, we think what will be viewed over the long period, long term rather than short term, what's going to get views overnight. We don't really have that mindset. Basically what people are going to search in for a long time.
Since I've got you there, is there any content you think your clients would want to see more of that you maybe don't want to put out, if that makes sense? Stuff that it's maybe the mowing tall grass videos kind of thing, right? Of I don't really want to put that out, but it's really popular. Is there anything like that in your world that you're like, oh, I don't want to do another video about trimming or whatever, right? Jacob, go ahead and take that one, buddy. Oh, sorry.
I don't. When I get a lot of requests from the YouTube world, it's basically from other companies, not basically from the homeowners themselves. So yeah. So I don't know. So my vlogs they come from the time I start to the time I'm done, or just little snippets how my property looks from when I get there to when I'm done. How clean it looks, or just telling it's just information. That's basically what it is. Just, the homeowners they just want information on their properties. I think that answers that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it works. Jacqueline or Abigail, anything on that one? Sorry.
Yeah, I think mainly we really aren't concerned if it is targeted towards the clients for some videos like mowing tall grass, just because it shows that we're capable of doing that work. And then doing fixing an issue with our truck, it just kind of shows that we have the knowledge to do things. So I think it kind of just gives us that one up compared to any other company out there.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's totally, again, presenting yourself as the professional, right? That's fantastic. Absolutely. Tino here mentioned he wants to get a hat like mine. They were giving these out at GIE last year, so be sure to check out. If you're not going to GIE, Green Industry Expo in Louisville, Kentucky this year, you really ought to. It's a phenomenal event. It's worth driving for. I mean, people drive some crazy hours, fly in from the West Coast. It's a fantastic event. I know Echo is doing some great big stuff this year, so the Echo booth is going to be awesome. So that part's going to be really cool. Since you mentioned GIE, go to GIE and talk to these folks about this stuff. There's so many of the big names there that you're going to get to network with and communicate with, and run great stuff like this. I'm seeing a comment here about a gator video. I'm presuming that doesn't apply to Central Illinois. I may be wrong. I'm guessing, Jacob, that pertains to you, man.
What's that? A gator video?
The gator video. How about the gator video? Mark Thomas Builder asked. Did that get people's attention?
Depends. Because I redo if you ever seen a body of water here in Orlando area, every body of water here has an alligator in it for real. So they're not allowed to move them unless they're about 4 foot. If they get bigger than 4 feet, then they will move them somewhere else. But yeah, so I think on my Instagram, I helped a guy, one of the rangers, pick up I think it was an 8 foot alligator, put him in the back of his truck. And then on one of my videos, you'll see little gators here and there. So yeah.
Daggone, an 8-footer, man. That's Florida's. I don't know, man. Florida's a whole nother animal. I don't know. Florida's a crazy place. I want to probably begin to wrap this up because time flies. It's amazing. Been 46 minutes so far. JAR there, you folks, do you have any closing advice? And I don't think actually I got to get to you on the question of sorry, I'm losing my voice here, about like words of encouragement for people that are camera shy or wondering what content to put out or to find a platform that works best for them. Do you have anything to give there, and then any closing comments maybe?
Honestly, just one of the most things that helped us is being yourself and not worrying about what others are going to say about you. Because when we first started, we had a bunch of hate comments about us not being able to speak well or something like that. But just ignore those people. Be yourself, and your true character will shine.
That's solid. I like that. That's a good one to close on. I like that. Jacob, how about you, man? Any closing or parting thoughts or anything you want to distill to the audience here?
No, just if you're gonna do YouTube, just do it. Just have fun with it. Like we're all gonna make mistakes. We're not perfect. But if you're using this for clients and to get clients, just make sure on details. Make sure why you're valuable, because these videos, that's what they're. One of my things is one of my things I always tell people is just make yourself valuable. Because the homeowners, they don't care if you use a small mower or a big mower, if you're using hand trimmers or power trimmers or what brand you're using. All they care about is that what they're paying for is getting done. If you're getting the best job there is. So when you're doing a video, work on details. Just plant material, insects, irrigation breaks, everything that you're able to provide, sell it on your video. Because it explains, like JR Landscaper was talking about. It just shows them everything that you're capable of doing. So just make yourself valuable. Just sell yourself, making yourself valuable. But, yeah.
Man, 2 killer closing comments there. That's fantastic. That was a great way to wrap this up, folks. That was really good. One last comment here, Blacktop Tech Talk. Talk about the things you're passionate about, and you'll always make great content, right? I mean, I think that summarizes what you folks just said. That's solid stuff. I really like that. That's good. So I think we'll go with that. I think that was a good 48 minutes. That's pretty good, folks. Here on a Thursday evening. So they've got a closing thing for me here to state. So let me get this in front of me here. Aside from what they're saying here, thanks everybody. For those of you that joined in on this here tonight, we really appreciate you checking out. Remember, it's going to be uploaded to the podcast, edited and cleaned up for faster, quicker listening. They want you to, of course, we want to thank our panelists. Of course, I was going to do that anyways. But yeah, so thanks, guys, Jacob and Jacqueline and Abigail. Thank you guys for taking time to be on tonight and to share your experience and knowledge here with this stuff. They want me to mention here that mark your calendars. It says next Pro Networking event meeting will happen right here on YouTube, September 2nd, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking about the GIE Plus Expo, and by the way, they're leaving out HNA, Hardscape North America, the most important part of that whole show. So we'll have to get that added in. So GIE Plus Expo and HNA. Thank you very much. And what goes into planning that event, and it is, I'll tell you, if you haven't been there, folks, you haven't gone to GIE, make it happen. Hitch a ride, jump on a bus, whatever you got to do, but get down to GIE or get up to GIE. It really is worth the time. Plan on taking a couple days. It really is amazing. So, folks, that's, I think, going to be it here for the evening. SRJ, thank you. Bedell, again, nice seeing you. Tino and Bedell and Mark Thomas, all you folks, thanks everybody for checking in here tonight. And there's many more, I'm certain of that. From the Echo Means Business live panel discussion here. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a great night, everybody. And then I don't know how they're going to close this out. I don't know how that goes.